I did not expect to be making this video today because today we got the patch notes for Season 1 of Black Ops 6 multiplayer, zombies, or some campaign changes, as well as Warzone Season 1 patch notes. The update is not out until tomorrow, but the patch notes are here now. So in this video, I'm going to detail all of the information in every single mode, everything that is changing, what Treyarch has fixed going into Season 1, as well, on top of all of that, what is new coming into the game. So, as I mentioned, here are the patch notes. November the 13th, 2024. I don't know why they are coming out a day early, but again, this patch comes out tomorrow. It says, welcome to Season 1. It gives us kind of a breakdown of what is going on, the cinematic story, which I already have all up on the channel. Now, new to multiplayer, 3 new maps. We have Hideout 6v6. We have Heirloom, which is the 6v6 and the 2v2 map, which I believe is this map here. And then we have Extraction, which is this map here, which is just a 6v6. Hideout and Extraction are both medium-sized map, whereas Heirloom is a face-off map. In other words, it's small. New multiplayer modes. At the season launch, we have Ransack. This is one where you kind of have to go in and capture money in a given area. I think it might be gold, and then extract it in a certain area. Prop Hunt is not there at launch. It is coming in season. I know a couple people were expecting it for launch. Then we have our new weapons. First off, we have the Krig C Assault Rifle, which is a part of the Battle Pass, which I had a video on yesterday, as well as tomorrow we will go over everything inside that. We have the SOG SMG. This one, again, is a part of the Battle Pass. In season, we are getting the Siren 9mm, which is a special weapon, and that is for an event reward that is not going to be live at launch, will be live later in the season, as well as the Power Drill, which is also an event award. There's also new attachments coming at season launch. We have the Dragon's Breath round for the 12 gauge shotgun. That is in the Battle Pass and will be going live tomorrow. And then in season, we have the Buffer Weight stock. That's a part of the event. We have the XM4 burst fire conversion, as well as the Compact 92 burst fire conversion kit as well. So 2 burst fire, a Buffer Weight stock, as well as the Dragon's Breath. Some are available for multiple weapons and some are specific. For example, the Buffer Weight stock is for a bunch, whereas the XM4 and the Compact 92 burst are for individual weapons. Then we have the multiplayer perks. We have the Shadow, which is in the Strategist, is undetectable to enemy traps and mines. I'm not exactly sure what that is. I thought there was another perk coming as well, but it's not in the patch notes. We also have the Hand Cannon, which is, of course, a kill streak. That's awesome. We need more kill streaks. There's not enough kill streaks in there now. As far as operators, we have Goliath, which is the Black Cell operator. We have Sev, which is Savati Dumas from the campaign, the Replacer, and then the CDL as well. In season, we have the hit list event. It says, who's next? Keep up your luxurious but slightly corrupt lifestyle. During the hit list event, you're offered up to take no prisoners mission, kill or be killed. The hit list limited event gives players a board of contracts with one goal. Take them all out. Cross off the entire list and earn some exclusive loot for hire. So assumably the board will just be a bunch of challenges and you get loot when you actually do it. So in other words, you get like the weapons, the melee weapons, as well as the conversion kits. So as far as zombies goes, there is really nothing happening at the launch of the season, but at season reloaded, we are getting the new map, but the directed mode is coming to Liberty Falls and Terminus as well, which will direct you through the Easter egg, and the maximum amount of rounds is 15. Ricochet anti-cheat updates. Campaign addressed a bunch of bug fixes. That's all it. Unfortunately, I was hoping for like more puzzles within the safe house to add story. I don't think we're ever going to get that, however. Moving into multiplayer, Lowtown addressed an issue where the water would flicker. It did for me. Protocol addressed issues. Red Card addressed issues. And Vault addressed issues. Spawns, the spawn logic updates across the board, as well as adjusted start spawns in the subsonic to prevent damaging opposing enemy teams at the match start. I never saw that happen, but definitely spawn logic is something we need to be addressed and updated. So moving into the weapon changes and adjustments, starting out with the assault rifles, the XM4, the damages got actually rebuffed because I believe they were nerfed back in the previous update, but they reduced the headshot damage multipliers. So now headshots essentially mean nothing on the assault rifles, just to be clear. Same thing goes with the Amies, re-upped the damage, nerfed the headshots. The GPR, This one had a little bit more changes. So first off, the headshot damage did get reduced once again. The base damage value went up, however. The sprint to fire time improved, so better sprint to fire time, but barely, not even noticeable. Tactical sprint to fire was improved barely again. Slide to fire and dive to fire times were improved as well. The Goblin MK2, this one, all movement speeds were improved by 0.01 milliseconds. They said, yes, every little bit matters. This is a strange one. Sprint to fire time improved slightly, and tactical sprint to fire improved as well. They really didn't touch this. They also didn't address the GPR at all, which really sucked. That's a bad weapon. The Compact 92 SMG, it looks like this is the only SMG. This one improved headshot multiplier. So SMG is getting better headshot multipliers, whereas the assault rifles got worse headshot multipliers. Also, the minimum damage range actually got nerfed on this weapon, which is odd because really this gun is only good up until like 11.4 meters. Anything after that, it is hard to hit your shots. You got to kill people up close with this one. Shotguns, the Sturlock laser increased the time it takes to reach ADS spread from 20% of aim down sight speed to 70% of aim down sight speed. I have no idea what that means. That is the most confusing sentence I've ever read. Slug attachment. Slug allows players to run shotguns as mid-range precision weapons. As a trade-off, they have limited short-range effectiveness if you're not careful to hit headshots. So what happened to these weapons? Headshot multiplier increased substantially to 1.5. So if you're going for headshots with your shotguns, they should be way easier now. Upper torso and upper arm multipliers increased from 1.1, or sorry, from 1 to 1.1, and now increased hip spread by 15%. So the hip spread's wider, but the multipliers are larger. But the other thing that you may notice here is the damages have gone up, but the ranges have gone down. I think this is a buff quite substantially to the Marine SP. Similarly, with the ASG-89, damage is up, range is down quite substantially at the beginning, but then the mid-ranges got buffed as well. Also, the multipliers increase, so shotguns should actually be very, very powerful now. I think both of these are going to be pretty good with the multipliers increased. Marksman rifles, we are adjusting handling stats on the burst rifles so that they fit more squarely into the intended role. So with the SWAT 556, aim down sight speed improved from 340 milliseconds to 315. That's one of the more substantial ones. Sprint to fire time improved as well as tactical sprint time improved as well. The rapid fire attachment, gun kick penalty increase. So that is them nerfing the rapid fire attachment, because really that attachment is what made these weapons good. Sprint to fire time increased for this one, not improved, increased. So the AEK got a nerf, whereas the SWAT sprint to fire time and ADS got a buff. So AEK nerfed, as well as the rapid fire attachment was nerfed for it as well, very substantially recoil wise. Sniper rifles. So these got adjusted extremely heavily. All snipers now have a 1 second of 50% idle sway scaling. I think that's a buff. All snipers also have the flinch base resistance of 17%. So general adjustments on this one: aim down sight speed is a little bit faster, sprint to fire time is a little bit faster, as well as the tactical sprint to fire time. They've also adjusted a bunch of attachments here, which I'm not going to go through all of those. The SVD, the general adjustment, address delay after firing before a new shot can be queued. This does not change the rate of fire, but prevents accidentally firing an extra unintended bullet. That's interesting. Sprint to fire time improved, as well as the tactical sprint to fire time improved. These are such small amounts, like 10 milliseconds is not something you are really going to notice, as well as a bunch of attachments getting changed there as well. And the tactical sprint to fire time is the only thing improved for the LR762. So honestly, I still think the Frostline and the LR are kind of weak. But maybe, I don't know, maybe you guys disagree with me, but from what I've seen, that is what I have been seeing. Gunsmith, various updates to descriptions. Perks, slight reduction to Ninja footstep volume. Interesting, so that's a buff to Ninja as a whole. Addressed an issue that prevented Gearhead from being able to booby trap enemy care packages, and addressed an issue that prevented equipment from replenishing with the Scavenger perk. Score streaks, Archangel addressed an issue with that one. Challenges, addressed an issue where some daily challenges were not tracking properly. Movement updates addressed a bug, so nothing there. Theater added Nuketown and private match recording. Again, Tomorrow, we should be getting a Nuketown Easter egg as well as a Warhead Easter egg, so stay tuned to the channel. Make sure you're subscribed. UI interface updates, graphics have been updated, and stability on numerous fixes as well. So zombies wise, they have addressed a bunch of issues. Basically, the Mangler cannon is always going to drop, as well as just some other main quest and pack-a-punch problems that were in the game. But they also adjusted weapons, and I'm really surprised that they did this, but I'm real quickly going to go through these as well. So starting out with the Amies, you're going to see here, basically there's the base damage, there's the crit multiplier, and then there's the crit damage. For most weapons that we're going to look at here, they have all been buffed. So the Amies got buffed pretty much all around on all of the base and crit damages. The AK-74 just got the bullet damage as well as the crit damage. Then we have the AS Val with a buff to the bullet damage and crit damage, but down to the multiplier just a little bit. The Model L basically got buffed all around. The XM4 basically got buffed all around, but the crit multiplier stayed the same. The GPR got a buff to damage down to multiplier quite substantially, and a crit damage bonus as well. Then we have the HE1. Increase the stock ammo from 5 to 11, so that's just a buff in the amount of ammo that you have. And the explosion radius was actually increased as well. So HE1 should be a much better weapon now. But the kind of max damage from the explosion is now worse, but the outer damage is better. It's a strange fix. I don't know if that'll be better or not. Then we have some perk changes. Dying Wish, they addressed an issue that where Dying Wish could activate when diving from large heights. That's kind of hilarious. Addressed an issue with Elemental Pop. The Turtle Shell will now apply damage mitigation when being grabbed by the Amalgam. So this is actually a decent augment now, because before it was unusable. PhD Flopper addressed an issue with that. Gobblegums, field upgrades issues. Enemies addressed an issue where zombies charmed by Brainwatt could prevent a player from completing an exfil. Strange. So just basically a bunch of issues that they have kind of went in and changed and updated all around. But as a whole, quite substantial changes to zombies for a update that really adds nothing new to zombies. But the big takeaway there is assault rifles are better in zombies. Then we move into Warzone. So I know a lot of you were probably waiting for this one. Ricochet anti-cheat updated just like in multiplayer. Sev or Savati Dumas coming, but then we have the entire integration. So the Battle Pass is something we will be talking more about tomorrow, talked about yesterday. Then we have the new map. So Area 99 is now here. I have played this map on the channel before, so I'm really not going to dive too far into that one. We also have Urzikstan. Now, Urzikstan is returning, but it's the old version of Urzikstan. In other words, it's the version of Urzikstan without Superstore. So that's kind of a downside. We have Rebirth Island. It's not going anywhere. I know people were worried about that. Vehicles, all new vehicles with improved handling, detailed further down below. Loot's updated, visually updated. Audio, it's going to have the in-game audio system that Black Ops 6 has, as well as the movement as well. Rebirth Island, the submarine POI introduced earlier this year now appears 100% of the time. It's all there. Increased redeployed drone count, so I guess that's good. And biometric scanner, the rewards for the biometric scanner and weapon trade stations have been replaced to be updated with the Black Ops 6 stuff. So then we have Battle Royale, Resurgence, and Plunder, as well as Boot Camp. The one thing that I will say is we are getting camos in Warzone. And I have a feeling Plunder may be way more populated after this update than it previously was. I don't know if they get into that in this, but before the end, we will talk about it. Now we have the playlist here. So Battle Royale on Urzikstan. Coming tomorrow, we have solos, duos, trios, and quads. Resurgence, Area 99, we have solos, duos, trios, and quads. So Rebirth Island is gone for 1 week. I think that's fine. And then Plunder, only quads on Urzikstan. The week after this, we have Area 99. We have solos, duos, trios, and quads. And then Rebirth Island is quads only. And it appears as though Plunder is always quads and Rebirth Island is always quads. Everything else, Urzikstan and Area 99, you have all of the playlists. I don't know how people are going to feel about that one. Ranked play. An all-new ranked play experience will come to Battle Royale Urzikstan for the first time with Season 1 Reloaded. This keeps getting pushed back. I thought they said within launch window last time. That's a little weird. Carry forward content. Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 weapons are indeed there. Leaderboards to accommodate and track the new statistics coming with Black Ops 6 integration. The Warzone leaderboard stats will be reset. So brand new stats in game. The armory is being updated with the Black Ops 6 weapons as well. And the progression from Call of Duty Black Ops 6, the prestige system, is going in game for Warzone here as well. So if you prestige, your things are going to be locked, like weapons will be locked in Warzone as well. Weapon mastery camos. The weapon camo grind has been overhauled in Black Ops 6 and it is bigger and better than ever. You'll be progressing through camos on quests to earn the first ever Call of Duty Warzone mastery camos called the Abyss. So in other words, that's the dark matter for Warzone. For more detail, go here. So just know we haven't seen the challenges for these camos yet. I don't think we will until tomorrow, but I have a very strong feeling that plunder is going to be where it's at for that. So combat, body shields integrated, dedicated melee weapon is integrated, which will give you unlimited tack sprint, shootable doors. So you now don't have to throw nades at them or anything like that or run through them. They are shootable. Combat adjustments. Basically, primary weapon, self-revive auto pickup, it auto picks it up. Live ping duration has been reduced to 2 seconds. Armor plate replacement speed, the speed at which players can replace broken or missing armor plates has been increased by 8%. So this is to speed things up with the Omni movement. Abandon timer, the timer a player must wait to give up has been reduced from 5 seconds to 4 seconds. In other words, you can give up faster. Death's Door, the health at which players will enter Death's Door state has been reduced from 50% to 35%. The health at which the Death Door state will end is now reduced from 70 to 55. So lower Death's Door health amount for some reason. Now, movement. Basically, all you need to know about this is if you played Black Ops 6, it's the same movement that is in Black Ops 6. You really don't need to know anything other than that. That's about it. Like, there's really no point in, for example, saying landing tuning. The duration of the shock effect when falling from a near death of height is reduced to 2.1. They basically sped everything up. For example, the amount of tack sprint has gone up that you can use, and they've introduced the Omni movement. So that's basically all you need to know. Inventory has been updated, so it's no longer the backpack system. Think if you played Verdansk, very similar to that one. So you can't carry a bunch of things like a bunch of stims, for example, in your backpack. Lootable perks are returning. So there's 2 perks that you can only get through loot. They're Shrouded and Irradiated, as well as the Specialist perk package, which is loot. Then we have all of the perks here. Now, I am not going to go through all of this because it would take me forever. I will have the patch notes linked down in the description, but perks are vastly different than they are in multiplayer. There are 3 slots, blue, red, and yellow perks. Each of the perk slots kind of has their own theme to them, and no, there is no combat specialty like there is in multiplayer. As you can see, there are the lootable perks there. Wildcard also returns. You got Bandolier, Overkill, which I think is going to probably be the most popular one. However, Gunfighter allows you to have 3 extra attachments on weapons. And then Battle Ready, your loadout provides a UAV and utility box when you pick it up. And again, these are unlocked at certain levels as you prestige, which I think is pretty cool. It's going to change up Warzone as a whole for sure. There's also 2 different satchels. One is armor, one is munitions. In other words, you can either carry more armor or you can carry more ammo, and that is what the satchels now do in game. Equipment's equipment. One of the new ones is the spring mine. That'll be kind of annoying. We have the proximity alarm, which that one will be interesting, especially in end game, I think. Equipment adjustments. So frag, the outer damage is decreased, but the inner damage is decreased. Sorry, the middle damage is the only thing that is increased. So just some tuning to that. Semtex kind of did the same thing. Throwing knife damage is decreased to 180 down from 200. So it's less good if you're not using it on downed people. Drill charge outer damage was decreased vastly. Molotov burn damage reduced. The smoke VFX updated to partially parody Black Ops 6. In other words, it's the same smoke that's in Black Ops 6 now. Experimental gas will now deal 10 damage per tick. And the snapshot grenade got a buff, so the radius increased to 15 meters up from 10. Kill streaks, the napalm and care package, as well as the SAM turret and sentry are new, whereas the UAV, advanced UAV, bunker buster stays, cluster strike, counter UAV, foresight, precision airstrike, and supply UAV are all the same. The only adjustment is the trophy system will now counter the bunker buster, so that's kind of interesting. Field upgrades, you have the scrambler and Warcry and armor box. Armor box is definitely not new. Neither is munitions. I don't know why it's saying either Those are definitely not new. Those have definitely been there before. I don't know why it says new. And then everything else you know already. I'm not going to go through all of that. Field upgrade adjustments. The heartbeat sensor, the warning display now highlights in red when enemies are within 15 meters, which is up from 7. That's a buff to the heartbeat sensor. So for solos, that's going to be a bigger thing. Munition box now grants 3 clips of every ammo type. So in other words, I think that's what it did back in Verdansk, or it might have just been the 2 weapons that you were holding, but now it's for every ammo type. So it's kind of a buff to that. Personal reboot deploy drone deploys 50% faster. So again, they're just speeding everything up. So then when we get into weapons, it's basically telling us that the Black Ops 6 weapons will be how they kind of are within multiplayer, but now they're brought into Warzone, and Modern Warfare 2 and Modern Warfare 3 weapons are staying the same. A couple attachments that have been changed from multiplayer is the CHF barrel normally increases the headshot multiplier, but the headshot multiplier is already increased in Warzone. So instead, the CHF barrel is just going to add the neck multiplier to the head multiplier that is already in game. However, for sniper rifles and shotguns, this now provides increased leg modifiers instead of arm modifiers. Why? I don't know. Flip magazine, the magazine capacity penalty from multiplayer has been removed for this one. So interesting. More people might actually use that. And then rapid fire, this attachment now applies a base damage penalty in Warzone, which it doesn't do in multiplayer. So instead of just increasing your fire rate and everyone using it, it also decreases the damage. Now, Modern Warfare 2 and 3. Suppressors, they boost the velocity of the bullets coming out of suppressors. Comps improve recoil control. Flash hires increased damage range. Breacher, enhance melee damage and recoil control. Under barrel attachments, the angled grip increased hip fire and tack stance accuracy. Hand stop improves sprint to fire and ADS speed. And the vert grip enhances recoil control and firing aim stability. Global weapon builds, basically you can build out a weapon and keep it the same across everything. Then we already talked about like the new weapons and everything like that in the previous patch notes. So we don't need to go across that anymore. Black Ops 6 loot has been added into Warzone. Contracts are contracts. They really haven't changed anything about those whatsoever. Public events are public events. Really no changes to those whatsoever. They're just kind of detailing what these things are. Operators, you can be any operators from Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, or Black Ops 6, as well as the new operators, which we have already talked about as well. Vehicles, the way you drive vehicles has been improved. That's really all you need to know. Updated models and updated physics all around, so they should feel better. The firing range from Black Ops 6 is now in Warzone as well, so that is the same type of thing, as well as emotes and sprays are coming in as well. The winner's circle, the winning squad in match receives their own winner's circle. This is so you can showcase your emotes, of course. And the end of game flow, the exfil sequence duration has been reduced with a larger focus on the winning squad. Players can now swap between their own squad and winning squad to show off your accolades and player stats, which is cool. So you don't always have to watch that winning squad. A bunch of user interface changes. There's no point in me going through all of this because the user interface is going to be different now that the integration has happened. And then the audio. All you need to know for this is if you've played Black Ops 6, they are bringing that audio into Warzone. And that summarizes it. That is the entirety of the patch notes. Hopefully I could keep it as succinct as possible. I've been recording for about 26 minutes. I'm thinking the video won't be limited down much further from that. So long one, lots of patch notes, but hopefully I could go through it as quickly as possible for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're